Sup guys, welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my September 2021 update of my full investment portfolio. I'm going to be sharing everything, including the different types of funds that I invest into, the individual companies that I invest into, and then finally, I'm going to be talking about the different crypto that I invest into as well. I'm also going to be doing a giveaway in this video because if you didn't know already, yesterday I finally reached the 30 club. It was my 30th birthday and I wanted to share and celebrate in one way or another with you guys, but more details on that later. But for now, that's enough waffling from me. I know you're here to see my holdings, so hit a like on the video down below and let's jump straight into it. All right, so starting things off with my stocks and shares ISA that I hold in Hargreaves Lansdown. I do have some other accounts that I'm going to be going through in this video, but we're going to start off here because this is my main account. As you can see, we've got some different funds and some different individual stocks, but I'm just going to go through them and give you an update on them and things like that. But basically, the first one that we have is my VUSA, which is an ETF that invests into the top 500 companies in the United States. And as you can see, this month was the first time that I ever hit 5 figures with a share that I'm holding. As you can see, I've now got £10,840.64. This is by far the share that I invest into the most regular amount of times. Basically, I simply have an instruction of £1,000 roughly every single month that just goes into this fund. It's the one that's performed the best for me. One thing that I do say in every single one of my videos as well, please do ignore the blue kind of plus signs and the percentages up. Recently, I transferred all my money to a stocks and shares ISA, and this is actually quite underestimated. In this account, I would say I'm up around 40% for my VUSA, but because I started a brand new account, my percentages went back to zero. So ignore that. But yeah, having said all that, this is definitely one of my favorite holdings and the one that I definitely invest into the most. Let's just take a look on how well it's done over the last month. It's done considerably well. It actually started off the month around about £60 per share, and right now we're sitting at £62.30. So it's seen quite a nice rise, nice and steady, not too sharp, and there's not too many dips along the way as well, which is something I absolutely love. So that's the first one. The second one, which is my second largest holding of the entire portfolio, is my VMID. So let's just move that out the way, sorry. And basically, the VMID fund is another fund by Vanguard, and this one tracks the FTSE 250. So basically, it's not the top 100 companies in the UK or the London Stock Exchange. It's actually companies number 101 to 350 on that exchange. So I went for this one over the FTSE 100 because there was a little bit more companies in the portfolio, and it was a little bit more diverse in my opinion. So I chose that one, and this one's doing okay as well. I did actually add some to it last month, which has boosted it up. I think it was around £750 I added to this one, so that was a nice little boost. And this one is doing okay. Over the last month, it's performed quite well. As you can see, it was way below £36 at the start of the month, and now it's gone up around £1.50, sitting at £37.60. So this one and the VUSA have been going up quite nicely over the past month. Moving down, now normally I keep all of my individual shares in my trading 212 account, which I'm going to get to in a second, but these are my 3 main ones that I actually started investing into way before I even had a trading 212 account, and I didn't want to take them out of here. But these are the ones that I plan on holding pretty much for the rest of my life, or to a point where I'm ready just to sell all my investments, let's put it that way. And the first one is one of the most obvious ones, and that is Apple stock. Now, Apple is the highest valued company in terms of market cap, and this one just constantly performs for me. As you can see, let's take a look at the performance over the last month. It's had a few ups and downs, but as you can see, we've ended up on the up. We started last month at around $146, and we're now at $153, which is a nice kind of gain over the last month. I've got roughly, if we take a look, details, I've got 55 shares in Apple, so I've seen a nice kind of rise in that over the last month as well. So that one's good. We'll move down. We're not going to talk about these ones too much. It's more the trading 212 account that I have some things to talk about. Facebook stock, very much haven't reinvested into this for a long time now. I've just invested the amount that I did around 4 years ago now, almost, maybe, yeah, just under 4 years ago, and I've just let it sit there. and it's just naturally gone up over time. It did have some good results last month with some earnings calls, but then it kind of dropped a little bit, as you can see. And yeah, still always on the up for this month. It's been a pretty positive month for all of my stocks, in all honesty. There hasn't really been too many that have dropped that much, but yeah, really happy with the way this one is going. Not really much else to say on Facebook. Moving down to the final one in this portfolio is my main dividend stock for this one, and that is Coca-Cola stock. And this one is so steady. It can have the best news in the world, it can have the worst news in the world, and it has had some pretty bad news recently, and it just doesn't really move. The main thing that it does for me in this portfolio is it gives me those good and healthy dividends every single quarter, which I'm more than happy with. And then with those dividends, I reinvest them into more Coca-Cola stock. So this one is one that is just simply going to grow over time. Right now, over the past month, you'll probably notice that it hasn't really seen too much movement. It is actually a little bit down. But like I said, I have seen some bad news from Coca-Cola. We actually had the Euros where there was a bit of controversy with Ronaldo and stuff in there, but yeah, it didn't really do too much. It did kind of drop a little bit on the day that he had his incident with the Coca-Cola bottles, but it pretty much recovered from there. But really happy with the way this one is going. Like I said, not too concerned about how much this goes up, or obviously if it goes down, it's not the greatest thing, but the main thing is the dividends that it pays me. But yeah, just taking a look at the stocks and shares ISA as a whole, the total invested value is £29,349.75, but we've actually got a little bit more in there than what that is, because we've actually got £129.83 in cash value. This would be from the dividends that I have received that I am not yet to reinvest and stuff like that. So that is something that I'm going to need to do in the very, very near future. But getting close to that 30,000 mark, which would be quite a milestone for me in this account, especially when I do invest some money into this account over the course of September, which I am definitely planning on doing. And that is considering that the stocks don't massively drop, which is a potential, by the way. But all in all, really happy with this one. Let's move on to my individual stocks with my Trading 212 account. All right, so this one here is Trading 212, and this is the one here where I make all of my individual stock plays. So once I have filled up my £20,000 allowance in my ISA, this is where I will also invest the rest of my money for the rest of that tax year. But I still do invest into this quite regularly throughout the month. And as you can see here, we actually have a new addition if you've been watching the previous videos, and we're going to get to Corsair Gaming in a second. But first up, we're actually going to talk about Coinbase, which, if you didn't know already, I have just released a video on talking about why I'm actually investing into it. So as you can see, I have invested into it, and it does take up around 2.5% of my entire portfolio, and I'm looking to actually increase this to about 5%. So I'm looking to increase, or at least double, my holdings of Coinbase over the next coming months, which like I said, I fully plan on doing, and it's actually had a really good start. Yes, I am only up £62 for this stock, but if we are looking at it from a percentage point of view, I'm up 12% in this company, which is absolutely fantastic. This is obviously going to be a lot down to the fact that crypto is on the rise at the moment, and there is a lot of activity in terms of buying and selling, and Coinbase actually reported some really positive earnings recently, which is why this stock has gone up. But really happy with the way that Coinbase is going. Next up, we have the latest company to my portfolio. Once again, I have made a video on the channel talking about why I'm investing into Corsair Gaming, and it was almost impossible for it not to have a good start, because I bought this when this stock was absolutely hammered. This one was so oversold when I invested into this company. If we actually take a look at the month chart, I bought this stock, literally, I'm hovering my thumb over around it, around about here. It dipped a little bit more just after I invested in, but it was completely oversold based on some of the news reports and the earnings that it had. And I just saw the opportunity. I love the company. As you'll probably notice if you watch the other video, I talk about all the different reasons as to why I'm actually investing into it. But it was just such a good opportunity to actually invest into this company. So that's the next one, Corsair Gaming. From there, we have my largest holding in this portfolio. Now, this stock is another one that took an absolute hammering after the earnings calls that it had. If we go and take a look at the month chart, as you can see, it had its earnings calls literally here, and it dropped about 12 to 13% overnight, which wasn't good for me. And I did decide to buy a little bit more of the Tattoo Chef, but I didn't buy that much simply because I still need to think about my diversification, and I do not want to be piling all my money into one stock. Yes, when that stock dipped as much as it did, I could have easily loaded up maybe a couple £1,000 and doubled my position in this stock, but I needed to think about my diversification. I needed to still stick with my plan. I didn't need to panic buy or anything like this. And I added a couple. I've increased my position up to 160 shares. And if we actually come down here and take a look at my average price, I have been able to reduce this by about 70 cents because it was around $19 before. So my cost average price is at around $18.27 now, which means is good because I'm averaging down on this investment. So over time, the more it does go up, the more I'm actually going to get for my money. So really happy with the way this one is going. This is the largest holding of this portfolio, but obviously when we take a look at the ones that I've just shown you, it's still quite minimal. I probably won't be doing too much more investing into Tattoo Chef. I'm very happy with the allocation that I have in my portfolio with this. But as I increase the other positions, of course, I'm going to increase Tattoo Chef. Next up, we've got Walmart, which has been doing okay for me. It's a very steady stock, Walmart. It's not one of those stocks that I've been investing into expecting massive growth. It's just one of those ones that kind of keeps me nice and diversified. When the stock market goes down, actually, Walmart is one of those stocks that actually increase because you're always going to need groceries, and the way they're expanding into e-commerce is really positive as well. So really looking forward to the future of that stock. Plans for this stock, once again, just going to invest into it gradually throughout the year as and where I find some free funds. Now, Disney. Now, this is an interesting one. I did actually add 3 shares to Disney this month, right before the earnings calls. But the most recent earnings call really did impress me because they smashed their Disney Plus subscriber number, which is really the main thing that is driving this stock price up at the moment. But at the same time, it's actually having to compete with the reopening of their parks and the worry about, you know, the big C word coming back around again. But let's not talk about this. But that's kind of, as you can see here in the stock chart, that's why you're seeing it up and down all the time, because the more the fears raise up, the more kind of the stock will go down. But then the positive news about the Disney Plus subscribers increasing is pushing this stock back up as well. I personally can see this stock going way up in the future, especially when things start to reopen and the fears of everything starts to die down fully for good. That is, it's just an open highway for this stock in my personal opinion. But that's my Disney stock, and that kind of rounds up my entire investment portfolio into Trading 212. I've currently got £5,857 invested. I've got a little bit of spare cash there to invest into some companies, maybe even today. Let's take a look at the stock market in about half an hour. As you can see, it will open up for me in America. We're about 8.6% up on this portfolio, which isn't bad considering if I actually scroll over here, I actually opened this account around April-May time. So over the first couple of months in this account, I think I'm doing okay. So that is my Trading 212 portfolio. Let's move now onto my Coinbase portfolio. But before I do that, let me get into the giveaway of this video. As I mentioned at the start of the video, yesterday I hit the big 3-0. It was my 30th birthday. And yes, I am starting to feel a little bit old. It was the first time I ever woke up on my birthday when I had a pain down my left-hand side of my leg for no apparent reason. So it must be old age, right? But anyway, let's get into the giveaway details. So there's 2 things that you need to do. Number 1, you need to be subscribed to this YouTube channel, which I expect already, by the way. And then secondly, throughout this video, I've been talking about the different stocks that I own. All I need you guys to do is leave me a comment down below which one of those companies that I've mentioned, or cryptos, by the way, because I'm going to be getting that into that in a second. Which one is your favorite? Just a simple comment down below. Which one is is your favorite, and then what I'm going to do is pick a random winner from that comment list, and that winner is going to win £30 sent to them by PayPal. Obviously £30, 30 years old, and I'm going to pick a winner in about a week's time, and I'm going to announce it on my community feed, which is why you need to be subscribed, otherwise you probably won't see it. So that's all you need to do. Subscribe down below, comment down below which one is your favorite stock or crypto, and then in a week's time I'm going to be announcing the winner. But that's the giveaway. Let's now get into my crypto portfolio. All right, so as you can see, this is the app that I'm using. It is Coinbase. I also invest into Coinbase, as you noticed in the account before this. But basically, when it comes to crypto, my investments are very, very simple. I simply just own 1.1 worth of Ethereum, and then I have a really, really small bit in Bitcoin, which just simply came from referrals of me kind of referring Coinbase to people. Basically what they do is they give you a little bit of free Bitcoin, and as you can see, I've got about £20 worth of that, but my main holdings is in Ethereum. I fully believe in Ethereum. I prefer the technology as to any of the other coins and cryptos that I've looked into. I have actually once again made a video talking all about what is Ethereum and why I think it's going to go up. That is going to be linked in the description down below as well. But basically this has seen a really nice rise in the last kind of month. As you can see, we'll go to the month chart here. Crypto as a whole has just been generally going up. If we take a look at Bitcoin as well, which is normally the main driver of why cryptos go up, like as in the altcoins below it, as you can see, Bitcoin has gone up around £10,000 in the last month, which is absolutely insane. But just going back to my Ethereum investment, this time last month, I was roughly on £1,700 in value, and now we are sitting at £2,488.28 in terms of the price of Ethereum, which is a really, really nice rise. Well, 41% up in the last month, which is absolutely insane. One thing I do know, of course, with cryptos is that they can come down just as fast, and I'm keeping that very much in mind, so I'm not getting too excited for the meantime. But that is simply my crypto portfolio. Let's now talk about the totals. And simply, when you add up all the totals, so my stocks and shares ISA, my individual general investment account with Trading 212, and then my Coinbase account, the total amount that I have as an investment portfolio into stocks and cryptos is £38,157.95. I'm very, very close to that £40,000 milestone, which will be a big milestone for me, because if you didn't already know, I am on a journey to reach £100,000 in stock portfolio value by April 2023. So I've still got a little while to achieve that, but if I can get to £40,000 by maybe the next month or so, that would be a really good achievement. Of course, that obviously depends on whether the stock market is going to go up or down or not, and how much I decide to invest. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that my stock portfolio is progressing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value from it. Also, if you wanted to start investing, there is an app called Free Trade, where if you sign up, you will get a free stock worth up to £200. It's really worth going ahead and doing that, because Trading 212 currently are not allowing new signups. I have no idea why at the moment, but if you did want to sign up for Free Trade, then there is a link down in my description down below. It is very much the equivalent of Trading 212, a great app for beginners. But like I said, hope you liked this video. Leave me a comment down below as well. Like I said, enter that giveaway, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.